today's video, I'm building a church. I'm talking classical pews, beautiful ceremonies. And in the next video, I'm going to renovate it into a modern house because yes, people actually do that. So stay tuned to find out how the church turns out today and subscribe so that you don't miss the renovation. And we'll name the plot, Take Me to Church. So a church traditionally is either really, really old or they're like one of these ones from the suburbs. And I think I'm going to mix the two today. And if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, if you do a giant X, it finds the center of the plot. So we'll start it about here because I don't really want to dusty it up with a car park or anything. So this here's going to be the entry, and then it'll go back about this much. We want lots of room for our churchies. This just looks like a person. Do you know what? Religion is about how life was created, and this is a man. I then proceeded to try and begin the church, and it looks like this. And here I am now. So first of all, I've made it a little bit more thin. It looks sort of like a pinball machine. I think then we should do the roof, and ooh, I wasn't sure about having it so tall, but I think that actually does give sort of the grandeur that the church would give off anyway. I also decided when I was trying to make a custom roof like an absolute noob, you guys know I ain't no custom builder. I was thinking just having it stick through slightly would work instead. And already this is giving so much more church vibes. For the front door, I think the reason I made it so ginormous and fat before was because I wanted to use this door, which yeah is nice, but we can just use this. They're legit the same. And a lot of you guys were telling me that I'm placing it backwards. I mean, I think this is the right way, but if I place it like that, that does seem right, doesn't it? I think Bloxburg messed up. And of course, I forgot we're going to be using loads of the new update items. Like, I actually forgot they added things because of all the drama. And when I built my palace, I used these. But these arch ones, these are so much... Ah! I was going to say there's so much more churchy. You can resize these. What do you mean? This might be the best update I've ever seen. What the flip do you mean? You can resize these. We can make them chunky. Gosh, you'd think it's my first time playing Bloxburg, but I did not know that you could do this till that exact moment. And is that equals pequals? Sometimes you have to add a wall in to really see. And is that nice? That looks horrifying.
Leave me alone, please. Get a life, get a proper job. I am horrified at what you've done.
This just looks like I'm having a free-for-all. You know what? I've changed my mind again. These are going on the side, and then we're just going to custom make these to look full. So, for example, thick sides here. You want thick? I can give you thick. And it is moments like this I question why I build such abstract things. Like, a church is so random, especially for Bloxburg. But, you know, I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for the Reese's Cups. And I haven't got a stained glass bone in my body, but I do have an idea up my sleeve. I'm thinking, yeah, fair enough. That looks nice. But what would look even better if we could get a stained glass decal and look up stained glass PNG. I don't know what that noise was, but they actually have it. No way, Jose. So hopefully it's big enough. It's big enough. That's why I ask myself when I get a slice of cake, is it going to be big enough? And there we go. Oh, baby. Welcome to my church. So I will of course be replicating this on the other side, which just takes a simple click of my button. And if we move my trash can out the way, this is the front of my church. Okay, maybe I was overacting about how good these windows looked. So we'll just finish it up with a simple mere pathway. And that's because I really did want to focus on the greenery. We're going to do like little patches of grass, all in a different shade of green. And kind of similar to my palace, we're going to do little swirls. Why does this look so bad? I'm actually having a mental breakdown right now.
I'm having a panic attack right now.
2 hours later.
Okay, guys, it is a little bit later on now. I was just having an absolute breakdown. I don't know why I started this video 5 minutes after an exam. The stress was running high. But I did a little bit off camera. I basically reduced the bushes to these fences. They are just the minor stone walls, if you're wondering. I added some trees and some pools, which I thought was an amazing touch. And it is time to go inside. So I have not been in a church for years because I used to be part of the Scouts and we would go all the time. And then I left the Scouts when I was about 14.
Fight! Fight!
But I'm going to make this my own kind of thing. We're going to have marble, but it's going to be in my fancy schmancy pattern, which if you didn't know is like rings of marble. Oh, that is nice. That is different. That is unusual. So next up, we obviously need to sort of work out this window stitch. And I was thinking maybe making like these just bigger. To do a very simple solution on the bottom, we could just pair them with factory. Hey, there we go. We're on a roll now. These fit exactly. And they're pretty cheap as well. Each one's only about 1,000, which saying it out loud does actually sound quite expensive. But I love how the light is shining through now, the stained glass windows. But this tree, who invited you in? And now you might be wondering, Reese's, what you're going to do about this chap over here? Well, what I'm thinking is many films which feature churches in them. Now, I don't know if this is real. So any people who actually go to church, let me know in the comments if they actually do have balconies inside. Normally, it's like the choir sits up in here and sings. And shall we use these or shall we use these? We'll make it black. I actually quite like the black. So on this side, obviously, we'll probably be having the choir. And then on this side, maybe we should cover it up. It looks like an absolute travesty has occurred over here. And then here's where we're going really classical with some cobblestone, as if we're back in the Victorian age. And just before we start adding like my pews and bathrooms, we should probably add in my roof beams. I feel like this is going to be so cool when we eventually renovate it into a modern house. So if you guys really do want to see that, like the video. Let's add in my chandeliers. Oh my, guys, you won't see that because I don't have face cam on. Like a leaf, a tree just blew out my window. I thought it was a person. As I was saying, the orange kind of does suit this medieval time, but I am going to go for a black and flint today. Oh, only $15,000 over here. We are just going to be well sneaky and put it underground. And why is there so much water there? I hardly placed any. So first things first then, let's get building the pews. They're basically just these benches that you sit on, and I'm going to start them quite far back because I want a stage here. And I was going to use a wooden park bench. What is this, amateur hour? I think we could use these. And then, of course, pews have a back on them. And the pews at the church I went to are actually quite advanced. Like, the back of the pews had the Bible in. So, like, it was not only a pew, it was also a shelf. So, get on that design level. Oh, and you know what? My one thing is that they should have more pillows because otherwise it gets a bit uncomfortable. And I like how this looks as if I've done loads of custom building, but I haven't. The other thing is they are such a thin gap to get through. If you want to leave to go to the toilet or something, you have to be a blimmin' slender man to fit through. And wow, this looks really cool. I mean, it looks very weird for Bloxburg, but so over here, I think I might do the confession booth. I think this might be more of a movie, like American style thing. I don't really see this in England, but basically it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a booth where you go and confess. So there'll normally be a divider in the middle. Now, this is very annoying because there's windows everywhere. So we're gonna have to use some fake walls. There should be a window as well, but for the sake of this, I'm just gonna add like a little bit above so you can actually hear them. As I was saying, confession is basically if you've done something wrong, like a sin, or then you might go to confession and confess your sins to the pastor or the priest.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Now, normally, I'm pretty sure the church would be empty when you're doing this. So that's why it's okay that it's open. And then over on this side is going to be our bread table. So it's not just like a loaf of bread. When I first went to church, I thought that as well. They actually serve it in like, it's kind of like a token of bread. They cut it into little circles. So we're gonna have lots of plates where people can have this on. And I like the idea of having candles actually. And I don't know why I keep going Australian. I've been watching a lot of Kath and Kim, which is an Australian show.
It's unusual.
So yeah, let's put a couple of console tables in. We can still make them match like that old style. I do realize obviously modern day churches do not really look like this. This is a very old timey church, but that kind of matches because I haven't added like a phone or... Okay, so just before we do the stage then, let's add the doors into the bathrooms. And yes, I know they're glass, but at the end of the day, it's Bloxburg, guys. Ain't no peeping toms around here. So this is our stage. I'm gonna make the little speaking bit where the priest is going to be talking. And I'm trying to make this like the same size as a Bloxburg character because we're actually pretty short in this game. And they'll probably be reading from a book. Again, this is kind of an old-timey one. And then sat along the back, we'll have other members like the clergy. I actually did religious studies at school, so I kind of know a little bit about it. Ooh, look at my church, guys. It looks so bad, let's not lie to ourselves. Let's go to the bathroom though. If there's one thing I can build in life, it's a bathroom. And what are these emojis doing here? Also, what are my recent emojis? Now, apparently there's not enough space here. Well, it looks like there's enough space to me, sunshine. Like, what is this? Like, am I gonna have to really use fake wall again? So it's going to be ladies and gentlemen's bathrooms and then a base wall trim because gaps like this really trigger me in Bloxburg. I do not know why. And why am I using fake wall? It's so expensive. And oh my gosh, yes, this looks like they've just kept the old toilets. And then, of course, we'll fit this with toilet paper because we're not actually in the 1500s. Do the same on this side. And there we go. That is the entire downstairs of my church done. I've just realized how short of a video this is probably going to be. Well, actually, probably not. It took me about 10 years to start. Anyway, up here feels like a very special place. We've got our stained glass windows. We've got all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking Bible study up here. I definitely know that Bible study is a thing that happens at church. We're going to use chairs, and this is going to be where it's a little bit more like a typical classroom today. Now, I don't know if you'd actually be sat down, but again, for the sake of today's video, we're just going to do it, and then we'll have some books like that. Imagine being sat like that and see ya. It's like total wipeout. That is really, really nice. We should also add some candelabras. Why haven't I been adding these? And I have also just realized we kind of need a way to get up to them. So that just looks absurd, doesn't it? What are we going to do? Should we just have like ladders? Like, what is this? An obstacle course? Maybe we should extend it so you actually can enter from the outside because I do want you to be able to actually get in the church. So there we go. That's Bible study done. We've done confession, the bathrooms, the church. We've actually done quite a lot in this video. Finally, over on this part, the choir. Basically, there'll be like a piano next to it, and then the piano is like playing off of these. We'll have like the places for them to sing up here, and then I am going to neaten this up because the unevenness is killing me slightly. And a lot of people also have weddings in churches, so we'll add a nice red carpet for them to walk along. That might be the quickest video ever. So chickens, welcome to the underground. What the? Where am I? Welcome to my church. This beautiful, beautiful plot values at a mere 170k. So this is a good lesson for you guys. Buy the 170k car or buy a whole church. Let's buy the church, guys. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but from the outside, we had some trouble earlier, but I'm thinking it's actually turned out really, really nice from pretty much all angles, especially the front. She is beautiful. Let's actually head through the grand doors of my church, and this is so cool. It's such a different visual from normal, and it actually feels really ethereal in here. It feels like it should be echoey. So, of course, you're immediately gravitated and greeted this gorgeous hall. We can already see the simps up there. We cannot see the Bible study yet, but we can see all of this. Let's say you've come for a confession. You've done a sin. Let's sit here. Oh my gosh, Mr. Priest, I did something terrible. I murdered someone. No, I'm joking. This is where you'd come if maybe you accidentally like ignored someone. Over here is where the ceremony kind of equipment is. It's a bit uneven, which is slightly annoying, but that's fine. And then here is where you'd sit on the pews, and oh my god. No way I made this all backwards. Right, it looks like everyone's watching your confession today, sweetheart. Up here is where the priest would talk, and I was worried about it being too high. If anything, it's too low, but that's fine.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine.
In that side, it's the bathroom, and then we also have some bathrooms in this side. They're very, very basic, but you can let out a nice wild poo. Up here are the simps. So I forgot to add stairs up here. We'll go to Bible study in a second, but I'll put a picture on screen again of what I kind of meant. This is basically the music part. So if it was a wedding or a coronation of a queen or king or something, so we do actually have to go round the church and round the sides to get up to Bible study. So it's a little bit of a trek, but once we're up here, we also get a gorgeous view of the church. We have all of our tables, and then finally our teacher desk. So there we have it, guys. That was me building the church. Do subscribe if you liked it. Sorry it was a bit of a shorter video, and I'll see you all in the next one.